Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to tackle the absolute foundation of your pickleball game. If you played a sport, you already know the dink is everything. But I gotta tell you right off the bat, almost everything you've been taught about your dink, it's fundamentally flawed. Seriously, if you've been struggling up at the kitchen line, it's probably not your paddle, and it's definitely not a lack of talent. It's just bad science. So let's dive into this together and figure out exactly how to fix the most important shot in your arsenal. Your dink isn't soft. It's slow. We're hitting you immediately with this bold contrarian reality because it exposes what is arguably the absolute worst piece of coaching advice in the entire sport. You know what I'm talking about. You've undoubtedly been told by a well-meaning partner to just be soft with your dink. But trying to be soft has ruined way more dinks than a cheap beginner paddle ever could. We need to strip away this idea of softness entirely. We're swapping out the vibes and gentle feelings for undeniable mechanical physics. Because, let's be real, you cannot rely on a vague feeling to win a tense rally. Instead, we're replacing those confusing coaching cues with actual science. We're going to look strictly at the mechanical relationship between your paddle and the ball. Section 1, the soft hands myth and the deceleration shock. Okay, here is the absolute crux of the problem. Soft hands is easily, and I mean easily, the most repeated yet least explained phrase in pickleball coaching. I mean, it sounds great in theory, right? But what actually happens in practice? The disastrous outcome of this myth is that players hear the word soft and their brain immediately translates that to slow down. When you try to be soft, you basically grind your own mechanical gears to a halt right in the middle of your swing. Players think they're absorbing the ball, but actually, they're just killing their own stroke mechanics. Let's look at the myth, hitting softly and decelerating, versus the reality, low velocity transfer and high control. I really need you to understand that low power and low velocity transfer are completely different mechanical concepts. A good dink isn't about lacking power, it's about controlling exactly how much of your paddle's energy actually transfers into the ball. Let's look at the scientific definition of velocity transfer. This is the reality of transferring kinetic energy. And here's the secret. That transfer depends entirely on your paddle angle and your contact point. It has absolutely zero to do with how gentle your swing is. Physics literally doesn't care how softly you swing if your mechanics and your paddle angle are out of alignment. If your angle is wrong, a gentle swing is just going to dump the ball straight into the net. Section 2. Geometry of the dink. Angles over feelings. A successful dink is purely a product of rigid geometry. We're completely removing feelings from the equation now. We're going to look at the actual mechanism that guarantees a clean, unattackable shot. When you rely on geometry, your shot becomes a mathematical certainty rather than just a hopeful guess. You set the right angles, you meet the ball at the right point, and the ball simply has to go exactly where you want it to go. There are 3 non-negotiable geometric rules to achieve this. Number 1, a slightly open paddle face. Number 2, contact must be made out in front of your body. And number 3, minimal backswing. Notice that literally none of these steps say, be gentle or relax your wrist. If you follow these 3 rigid geometric steps, the ball is going to naturally arc low and slow over the net, every single time. So the crucial point is this exact measurement right here, 10 to 15 degrees. That is exactly how far your paddle face needs to be opened. If you lock your paddle at a 10 to 15 degree angle and you meet the ball early, the physics of that angle will do all the work for you. It naturally creates that beautiful, unattackable arc. You don't have to awkwardly manipulate the ball with your wrist, you just have to present the correct angle. Stop slowing down your arm. Seriously, it completely kills your consistency. When you have bad geometry, like, say, a flat paddle face, you intuitively try to compensate by decelerating your entire arm so you don't pop the ball up. But decelerating throws off everything. Why? Because now your timing depends on perfect deceleration every single time you hit the ball. And perfectly timing the deceleration of your arm in the middle of a fast-paced game, that's a virtually impossible skill to master. Fixing your angle once is so much easier. Section 3. The kitchen line drill. Putting it in practice. Now, understanding the physics is great, but let's look at the actual drill the source recommends to put this into practice. Picture yourself setting up at the kitchen line with a partner, or even just against a practice wall. The very first thing you need to do is lock your paddle face open to that 10 to 15 degree angle before the ball even arrives. Do not wait until the ball is in the air to find your angle, and absolutely do not adjust it mid-swing. Set the angle early and keep it completely locked. Let's walk through the exact physical execution. First, as we just said, lock the paddle open early. Second, step very slightly into the ball as it approaches. And third, and guys, this is absolutely vital, make contact out in front of your lead foot. Never, ever let the ball travel so deep that you're hitting it beside your hip. If you hit it beside your hip, your geometry is already broken and you're going to pop it up. And here is your absolute maximum allowance for a backswing, 6 inches. I want you to visually isolate this in your mind right now. Your paddle should not go back further than 6 inches. Anything more than that is just wasted movement that generates way too much kinetic energy. And what happens then? You inevitably try to correct it by slowing down your arm, which throws you right back into that soft hands tap. Keep it under 6 inches. To build this new muscle memory, here's your exact prescription. 20 reps a day. Do them cross-court and do them straight ahead. If you commit to this for just 1 week, you are going to feel a massive difference. But you won't just feel it in your arm. You're going to see it in the results. Section 4. Predictability. Winning under pressure. A geometrically sound shot is going to outlast your opponents every single time because predictability wins points, not gentleness. If replacing the soft hands myth with actual science changed how you think about your dinks today, you are definitely going to want to catch our next explainer. We're going to be breaking down the third shot drop next, and let me tell you, it involves an even bigger myth than the one we busted today. But before we wrap up, I have a quick question for you. What pickleball shot should we break down using science next? Let me know down in the comments, and make sure you smash that subscribe button so the YouTube algorithm knows you want more of these science-based pickleball breakdowns. Stop trying to be soft, lock in that geometry, and I will see you in the next explainer.